haki iwe ngao na mlinzi, na tukae na undugu, amani na uhuru, raha tupate na ustawi. Mungu twaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
As we remain standing, I'll invite Abdullahi Haji and my sister to lead us in a word of prayer.
In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, praise be to Allah, Lord of the worlds. Most gracious, most merciful, Master of the day of judgment, it is you we worship and call upon for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those you have blessed, not of those against whom there is anger, nor of those who are misguided. O nourisher and provider of all things, we offer thanks and gratitude to the Public Service Commission, the emerging public leaders, and the ELF Africa for this opportunity given to us. We thank them for learning and nurturing. May you bless their efforts to build this generation. May you remind us of our purpose. Amen.
Let's pray. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, we come before your presence this morning. We say thank you for the gift of life. We dedicate this special day unto your able hands. From this moment, this seedling started sprouting, to the moment the program began, to this juncture, we acknowledge that your grace has been sufficient. We remember the leadership that has worked so hard to ensure that this program excels, the Public Service Commission of Kenya, Emerging Leaders Foundation, emerging public leaders, and all other stakeholders. May you bless and grant them their heart's desires. As Cohort 2 start this journey, may you be their guide, give them knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Let every resource that is required to propel this program to greater heights come from you, dear God. As we graduate this day, we dedicate it to you. May you guide us to implement what we have learned and practice it. Let your mighty power take over this day. As we finalize, may all glory, honor, and praise be unto you, Lord. For it is in Jesus' name do I pray, trusting and believing. Amen.
With the permission of Your Excellency, your principal guest, may we resume to our seats. Your Excellency, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, our Vice Chairperson, Madam Charity Kisotu, the Public Service Commissioners, our CEO, and the Public Service Commission Secretariat, the Emerging Leaders Foundation, our sister Karen Okori, and all the fellows, the first and the second cohort president, and the fellows present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, our chief guest, this morning we are grateful for you joining us. And on stage is our Public Service Commission choir, ready to give us our theme song, Twajivunia Mikakati Bora, Public Service Commission. Enjoy, sir.
twajivunia mikakati bora PS, twajivunia mipango bora PS, twajivunia tume ya utumishi wa umma kwa kuwajali wa Kenya, twajivunia mikakati bora PS, twajivunia mipango bora PS, twajivunia tume ya utumishi wa umma kwa kuwajali wa Kenya. Twajivunia juhudi za tume ishara tosha, taifa letu linasonga mbele. Juhudi zenu za kuboresha maisha ya Wakenya, twawapongeza wadau wote. Ishara tosha, taifa letu linasonga mbele. Twajivunia mikakati bora PS, twajivunia mipango bora PS, twajivunia tume ya utumishi wa umma kwa kuwajali wa Kenya, twajivunia mikakati bora PS, twajivunia mipango bora PS, twajivunia tume ya utumishi wa umma kwa kuwajali wa Kenya. Uzalendo wa Kenya tudumishe, taifa letu lipate kunawiri wa Kenya. Uchumi wetu utanawiri, maadili mema yatatuwezesha kufanya kazi kwa uadilifu na uaminifu, ishara kwamba taifa letu litanawiri. Twajivunia mikakati bora PS, twajivunia mipango bora PS, twajivunia tume ya utumishi wa umma kwa kuwajali wa Kenya, twajivunia mikakati bora PS, twajivunia mipango bora PS, twajivunia tume ya utumishi wa umma kwa kuwajali wa Kenya. Tunajivunia uongozi wa PS, mabadiliko mengi tunayaona, juhudi zetu tunajivunia. Wafadhili wetu EPL, ELF, tunajivunia ufadhili wenu, twawapongeza, Mungu awabariki. Tunajivunia uaminifu wa tume yetu, mabadiliko mengi tunayaona, juhudi zenu tunajivunia. Wafadhili wetu twawapongeza, Mungu awabariki. Tunajivunia uongozi wa PS, mabadiliko mengi tunayaona, juhudi zetu tunajivunia, tunajivunia. Umbomizi bora wa mama hava Bangunda Yanza. Umbomizi bora wa mama hava Bangunda Yanza. Oh, umbomizi bora wa mama hava Bangunda Yanza. Umbomizi bora wa mama hava Bangunda Yanza. Sibora wa mama Yanza hava Bangunda Yanza. Sibora wa mama Yanza hava Bangunda Yanza. Umbomi msalia wa mama hava Bangunda Yanza. Umbomi msalia wa mama umbomi msalia wa mama hava wamama luyanza. Mbomi musalia, mbomi smalia mama, ababangu dayanza. Mbomi musalia mama, mbomi musalia mama, ababangu dayanza. Mbomi musalia mama. Commission, hongera baba kwa kufika hapa, hongera sio wetu, Mungu akuongoze, uongoze tume tufike huko mbele. Hongera nyinyi wote makomishona wetu, hongera wananchi, Mungu awabariki. Hoya.
Let us give a more loud of applause to our Public Service Commission Choir. Asante sana for that well choreographed song that has energized our chief guest. Asante sana. It's my singular duty now, Your Excellency, sir, to invite the Commission Secretary, who is also our CEO, to come and make his welcome remark. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, our choir. Our chief guest, Your Excellency, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, who is also the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and also our chief guest for the day. Our Vice Chairperson, Madam Charity Kisotu, standing in for our chair, who is currently with the PSS in Isholo. Our commissioners, Hon Oku Kaunya, Mheshimiwa, Ambassador Mudaura, the Executive Director, Emerging Leaders Foundation, Madam Karen Kokoli, Chairperson of SELF, Steering Committee, Sir Manuel Lubembe, the graduating class and pioneer SELF and Cohort 2 fellows, mentors, staff of the Commission, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's a privilege today to have our chief guest with the PCS to join us. Your Excellency, it's my pleasure and honor to welcome you here today and to thank you for honoring our invitation to grace this occasion as our chief guest. We do not take for granted, considering your busy national schedule, and also considering that just in April this year, you honor the Commission with your personal presence during the unveiling of the Values and Principles Report and inauguration of Cohort 5 of the Public Service Internship Program that was officiated by His Excellency the President. On behalf of the Commission, and more importantly, these young people, graduating class, and the new Cohort 2 fellows, who are the reason for our being here this morning, we are indeed truly grateful. Your Excellency, your presence here is an inspiration to the fellows that are graduating today, owing to your well-decorated public service career that attests to your commitment and dedication to serving the people of Kenya. These are the defining attributes that this program seeks to bring out of the next generation of public servants represented by these young people. You are therefore an example to be emulated. Over the years, the Public Service Commission has endeavored to empower and transform the human resource in the public service through capacity building programs in accordance with its mandate. The public service emerging leaders that we are graduating here today are the first cohort, and the public internship program are some of the transformative programs that we are implementing in this regard. Through these programs, the Commission is able to inculcate work ethics, national values, and values of public service. This will help our country to have a pool of new generation of ethical, patriotic, and energetic Kenyans who are enthusiastic in making positive impact in the society. The 51 fellows who are graduating here today are a true reflection of Kenya. They were competitively recruited through an application process that also required them to write an essay on why they needed the opportunity. The shortlisted candidates were then subjected to intensive and extensive interview process, and I'm delighted to report that the 51 fellows graduating today are some of the best that you can ever have. Could we appreciate them, please? In addition, the fellows represent 41 counties and 36 different ministries, departments, and state agencies. 26 out of the 51 are female, 25 are male. 6% are people living with disabilities. They underwent a comprehensive curriculum that covered leadership principles, communication skills, critical thinking, strategic planning, and principles and values of the public service. It's worth to note that this graduating class that has just returned from Mount Kenya School of Adventure and Leadership in Nanyuki, where they attended rigorous week-long team building retreat to prepare them for the reality of the work environment. Your Excellency, in our midst also, we have cohort 2 fellows that were recently recruited by the Commission. This cohort has 65 fellows coming from 46 different countries and 25 different ministries, departments, and state departments. Could we also appreciate them, please? This comprises 51% of the 65 fellows are female, while 49 are male, with 6% being persons with disability. I wish to express our deep appreciation to our partners, the Emerging Leaders Foundation, Africa, and Emerging Leaders, Public Leaders, USA, for their support and holding this program. We are truly grateful for this far we have come, courtesy of the overwhelming support. We really appreciate you. Can we appreciate them as well? As I conclude, Your Excellency, allow me to take this opportunity to recognize and introduce some of the guests and stakeholders who are in attendance and who have played a very critical role towards the success of this program. The first one, of course, being the Minister of Public Service, who was then to be represented here by the Minister, Aisha Jumwa, who has sent her apology. The Office of the Head of Public Service, Hon Ndindi Nyoro, who is the Chairman of National Assembly Budget Committee, Hon Oku Kaunya, who is here, kindly stand up, and we appreciate you for being our partner of Amuchai Initiative. We also have Emerging Leaders Foundation Board. I don't know who is representing them. We appreciate you. We have Emerging Public Leaders, Sharmi Suryan. Okay, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Madam Karen Wakoli. She's been our great partner. Please appreciate her. Mr. Emmanuel Lubembe, the veteran public servant. Thank you very much. He's the chairman of steering committee. The founders, Hewlett Foundation and Ford Foundation. Thank you very much. Our renowned Ambassador Mudaura, please acknowledge him and appreciate. He has also been facilitating these young men. We really appreciate it. And all those who are not mentioned, including our entire team of the commission led by our vice chair, they've been very supportive. Your Excellency, it's now my pleasure to invite the lead commissioner for this program, Dr. Mweri Muyandi, who has been spearheading this program since inception. May we kindly appreciate her as she comes, kindly. Commissioner, thank you very much. Asante sana.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's not so cold. Good morning. Graduating class, good morning. That's better. Your Excellency, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, Prime Cabinet Secretary, our guests. I don't want to go through the protocol that has already been established by the CEO, but I want to say good morning again to all of us who are present. My good commissioners, good morning. Sir, this thing is so big. I can't see you. It is an honor and privilege for me to highlight briefly the journey we've walked from the inception of this program to where we are today. As I do this, I would like to begin by acknowledging the partners once again who have been instrumental in the journey right from when we started, from the conception of what we wanted to do, to the design, to the training, to now we're having a graduation. Madam Karen Wakoli, founder and executive director, Emerging Leaders Foundation, Israel named E. That is the powerhouse of the program. Thank you, Karen. We started also with Madam Yawa, who has since left. She was Executive Director, Emerging Public Leaders, EPL. We have the office here with Madam, who is representing, who is Yawa now here. Madam, can you kindly stand? The name that the CEO was not able to pronounce. I thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have Chandra Institute of Governance, who played a critical role in curriculum development that was tailored or tailor-made for Kenya. We worked together, PSC and the Chandra Institute of Governance, to do the program, the curriculum that we have used this last 1 year. We thank them. We also have other partners, of course, the Public Service Commission, ever present. The conceptualization of this program, sir, was premised on the understanding that our public service transformation would only succeed with ethical and professional civil servants. It is therefore important that we develop transformative programs such as this one to inculcate values and principles and ethical leadership in the public service. The program has seen the good and the good and the good of the days because we have succeeded all through. The preparation phase of the program took 2 years, from 2019 with our late chair, Stephen Kilogo, to 2001, leading to the commission to signing the MOU with the partners on November 23rd, 2021. Sir, the 2 years is when we were sharpening the axe. Cutting the tree became much easier after that. On March 15th, 2022, we inaugurated the first cohort of the fellows who we are witnessing today as they graduate. The former president of Liberia, Excellency Sharif Johnson, graced that occasion, which took place at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC, in Nairobi. Our dear Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary, the recruitment of the fellows in this program was highly competitive and targets officers who have served under 3 years in public service. The 51 fellows who emerged successfully in the first cohort comprised 26 beautiful women, all geared to serve this country, and 25 young men who want to give their all to serve this country. Among them, we have people living with a disability, and we have picked them from 41 counties out of 47. We are doing very well in that regard. Our guests, the fellows have undergone a 1 year intensive leadership program, which is sandwiched within the normal duties and assignments at their places of work. They have been coached by eminent facilitators drawn from both private and public sector. Through this program, fellows have gained knowledge and built their social and career growth networks. Allow me, sir, to single out one of those facilitators who have been with the first cohort and still with the second cohort, Ambassador Muthaura. Sir, let me recognize you. Thank you, and we have others who have given their time. And the day before yesterday, we had the former head of public service, Dr. Joseph Kenywa. So they are getting the best out of what we have in our society. The curriculum for this program covers 3 very critical segments. One is putting citizens at the heart of public service. This to say, not dealing with the files and numbers, that those files are people with the families, with the blood flowing their veins. 2, public service leadership and ethics. And 3, skills for young public leaders. The mode of training combined lectures with a mix of experiential and applied learning, hands-on practice, mentorship and peer learning techniques that impart practical skills and knowledge. We are, sir, therefore very grateful that we wish to appreciate the team which has been working tirelessly to make sure that we have a program that fits Kenya's context and financing model that suits the Commission's needs. Our guest, it is the Commission's desire to have the young men and women in the public service, not just the ones graduating, that they give their best for their motherland. It gives the Commission, indeed, a sense of satisfaction that we have not only gone a full cycle with the first cohort of fellows, but we are also inaugurating today an even bigger second cohort of the fellows. You can hear where the claps are coming from. That's where they are. The graduating ones are here. And the two teams, I need to say they had time to meet yesterday. So there is natural, nice, very nice adding over of even the torch so that we continue. We are therefore confident that as we begin the journey once more with the second cohort, we shall navigate that path even easier than we did with the first. We have learned so much by the mistakes, some omissions here and there. The second cohort will benefit from our learning. Sir, this team we have, the young fellows we have behind you, they are so determined, so wired to change this public service. They have what it takes, and the mentors, I need to mention that, sir, we do have mentors who have been working and walking with them through the year, and I want to urge them that they will continue doing just that. I want to add there and wish to invite the vice chair sitting in for the chair to come and give the address. My dear friend, sister, we shall be having you. But before that, before you come, I need to just have one word for these young fellows. They have done so much to change the way they do, the way they think. It is in that changing their mindset that is giving us people who are older in the service some kind of feeling not very comfortable sometimes because they are too fast. You know, they are young. And they have some skills that all of us don't have. We want to allow them to help us do those things they want us to do with actual cooperation, working together, and they will be us in a very few years. Them, they were not going to wait for that years to be promoted. They are just good. And I want to present to you, when you finally have them, the army of young men and women determined to change and help you change the public service. With those few words, sir, I want to leave this mic to Mike.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you so much, Dr. Mary, for handing mic to Mike. Your Excellency, before, with the permission, I invite the Vice Chair. I will request you give me some few minutes for some testimonies, and allow me to call the cohort 2 class rep, that is Ms. Stephanie Ndiku. And also the first class cohort, Mr. Tobias Wabomba, to come on stage. They will each take 3 minutes each just to share an insight with us, and then we proceed. Welcome.
Your Excellency, Honorable Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, Vice Chair, Public Service Commission, Commissioner Charity Kisotu. All protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a privilege to stand before you today to address this assembly in celebration of the graduation of the first cohort of the Public Service Emerging Leaders. To the graduates, today marks a great milestone in the journey that you have started and have been engaged in the last 1 year. And it is a reminder that now it is the time to draw upon the knowledge and teachings that you have gleaned from the program and put them into service. To the second cohort of mentees, it must be remembered that being a protege does not imply lack of talent or gift. Instead, it signifies our commitment to continually improve and hone our skills through various strategies. It is in this spirit that I must embrace the words of the late Alvin Toffler. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot write and read, but those who cannot learn and relearn. The theme of the citizen centricity was at the central focus of the second segment of the program, and it should remain the cornerstone of our public service ethos going forward. As public servants, we owe a duty of respect, integrity, efficiency, and effectiveness to the people of Kenya. And we should strive to provide solutions in a friendly and meaningful manner. Echoing the words of Ambassador Anthony Mushiri, the chairperson of Public Service Commission, as public servants, we have a call to serve. This calling can be best fulfilled by applying the principles of citizen centricity to our duties and responsibilities. By keeping the needs and aspirations of the citizens at the forefront of our work, we must make genuine difference in their lives. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to emerging public leaders, the Emerging Leaders Foundation Africa, and the Public Service Commission for their dedication to mold and refine the capacities of the next generation of public servants leaders. To my fellow leaders, to whom much is given, much is expected. Having been chosen to go through this program among many young people who had applied for the position, a lot is expected from us. Therefore, I implore each one of you to maintain focus on being the kind of leaders that will leave a legacy for the future generations of public servants. Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary, as I once again appreciate EPL and ELF Africa for their priceless investment into our careers and future, I would like to add that on behalf of the graduating cohort and cohort 2, that we hope and pray that the government of Kenya will consider committing sole resources that will allow this program to benefit more young public servants. Together, we can create a legacy that inspires and empowers the future generations of public servants. And we will. Thank you.
Our chief guest, Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, the Vice Chair of the Public Service Commission, the Commissioners of the Public Service Commission, the CEO of the Public Service Commission and Executive Director of Emerging Leaders Foundation Africa, and all protocol observed. My name is Tobias Wabomba. I am a probation officer serving in Makadara. I am the president of Cohort 1, working closely with my colleague Lynette Kafaso and Kelvin Kioko. I am here to share the journey that we've walked as the Cohort 1 fellows 1 year ago, we embarked on an informative journey of leadership that brought together people from different departments, had different experiences and different aspirations, driven by a common desire to be effective leaders in respective fields of their endeavors. As we reflect on the past 1 year, we can confidently say that our time as fellows has been nothing but remarkable. Leadership, we quickly learned that is not merely a title or a position of authority. It is a continuous process of learning, self-discovery, and growth. It's about inspiring and empowering other people to live in their full potential. It is about forging meaningful connections, fostering collaboration, and embracing the diversity that enriches our country. Our journey as fellows has equipped us with the tools and insights to navigate the challenges that we face as a country. It is our responsibility now to utilize this knowledge for the betterment of our society. Your Excellency, throughout this year, we have been privileged to learn from exceptional leaders within and outside government. They have shared their experiences, reminding us that leadership is not about being infallible, but about being willing to learn from our mistakes. They have taught us the true leaders are those who lead with integrity, humility, and putting the needs of the citizens at the center of their service. We have been tested. We have been pushed beyond our limits. We have been forced to leave our comfort zones, and it has led us to discover that our inner strength and develop resilience. And I can say confidently that we are ready for the task. Your Excellency, before this day, we are already creating an impact in our respective workplaces and communities. Fellows like Jacob De Kiage, an educationist in Nakuru County, is giving his older clients an opportunity to be computer literate and access basic education. Henry Ngede, a nutritionist in Nyeri County, is being active on the ground, informing people how to live in a healthy life and how we can develop a healthy nation, because without a healthy nation, we cannot do anything as a country. Olive Maina Njoki, an immigration officer, is working on a project that will track the process of passport processing and ensure that the process is seamless. Lionel Wambia and Henry Nyamogosa, vocational trainers in Tharaka Nithi County and Kisumu County respectively, are working to make sure that young people who do not make it to college are accessing vocational training centers and they are acquiring knowledge that gives them the ability to make their lives better. The list continues, and I cannot mention all of them, but of course I cannot forget the probation officers. We are working to make sure that the society is free of crime, and we are giving offenders a second chance to have their lives well on track. Your Excellency, we also have human resource in these officers in this group of ours who have demonstrated that the mention of the word HR does not send shivers in the spines of the employees, but they can work with a faster pace and also serve with a smile and dignity to those people who are seeking their services. Mheshimiwa, this will not have been possible without the innovative idea of developing young leaders in public service. We thank you for honoring our invitation to be in our graduation today. This shows the commitment by yourself and the government of developing young leaders in public service, and it is an endorsement to have a public service that is citizen-centric and where public servants serve with the values driven. I am a student of history, and I understand that at 28 years old, you are elected to parliament. At 33, you became a minister. We are asking that we can learn from your feet, and I've done some statistics from our group, my group here. Most of them have been to parliament, on the building, of course. Some of them have gone to the KICC, but because your office is new of Prime Cabinet Secretary, none of them, zero, including myself, have been to that office, and we would like to be your guest one of these days. Let me, in a special way, thank the former president of Liberia and the co-chair of EPL, Her Excellency Ellen Johnson, for her commitment and investment in young leaders in Africa. The chairman of Public Service Commission, Ambassador Anthony Mushiri, for continued support. Commissioner and Dr. Mary Muyandi, our grandmother, for working with us every step of the way. The Executive Director of ELF Africa, Madam Karen Wakoli, who is going on to inspire a generation, and the Chandler Institute of Governance for developing a module for us on which we've been used to train. Let me say this, that we stand on our shoulders and we promise nothing but our last sweat. To our supervisors, thank you for support and counsel during the program, and we look forward to learn from you and working together to enhance public service delivery to our citizens. Our promise is to live up to the values we've acquired from the program, serve with integrity, and deliver the change that we want to see in public service. And to you, my friends, the graduating class of 2023 cohort 1, we are armed with the knowledge and skills necessary to succeed. Together, we are a network of leaders ready to change and lift each other in times of sorrows, in times of success, and celebrate the achievements of each and every one of us. We are promising that whatever that we've gotten from this program is not going to die in our offices. We are going to be the ambassadors of change in everything that we do, in how we carry ourselves, and how we conduct the businesses of the public service. And we are looking forward to have more segments where we can share our success stories. So it is time. Let's go out there and make the change that we want to see. Thank you, and God bless you.
Let us give the two presidents' class a more heartier clap. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stephanie and Tobias. What the ministry or what the commission is doing is what the former General Kibochi CDF used to say, sharpening the arrow edge. All of us are sharp. All of us has an arrow edge, but now the commission has taken a role of sharpening us. Some of us would have not been whom we are today, were it not a few of you identified us and gave us an opportunity. I'll now invite all of us to focus on the cameras, on the screens, for a brief documentary. Welcome.
The Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship, PSELF, is a premier leadership development program that aims to create a new generation of well-trained and ethical leaders in Kenya's public service. This fellowship aspires to contribute to a transparent and ethical service at the national and county level by recruiting young exceptional talent in the civil service to improve public service delivery, manage government resources ethically and transparently, and building a cadre of high-achieving professionals.
I want to congratulate the 51 fellows in the Emerging Leadership Fellowship Program. If you do your best, I am confident that our public service will be in good hands today, tomorrow, going into the future.
begin to ensure that the public servants entering the public service itself are properly guided in terms of the kinds of values, practices, policies, processes, systems that exist in the public service.
What I see in the young people is a future. And this future cannot be done any other way than to looking and mentoring and nurturing leadership for the willing. And I guess our first cohort comprised that very willing young men and women who are proved over the year that they can do it, they can cause the change that we need for this country.
To me, it's really transformative as it is aimed at reinvigorating and reimagining the spirit and ethos of the public service, not only for our country, but also for the continent.
On 21st November 2021, the three partners, PSC, EPL, and ELF Africa, entered a tripartite agreement through a joint memorandum of understanding. The MOU signing was held at the Kenyatta International Convention Center and was graced by the then Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Public Service, Professor Margaret Kobia.
I just want to congratulate the Public Service Commission for teaming up with the other two organizations to purpose to develop leaders in the public service.
The MOU signing paved way for a meritocratic recruitment process that was jointly conducted by the three partners. The recruitment targeted young women and men aged between 18 and 35 who were permanent employees of the Public Service Commission and had worked for the government of Kenya for between 6 and 12 months. Over 6,000 applications were received, from which an initial list of 700 applicants was drawn. This number further came down to 250 shortlisted applicants who proceeded to interviews. In entrenching diversity and equity, 26 of the 51 fellows of the inaugural cohort are ladies, while 25 are men. 6% of this number are persons with disability. The 51 fellows come from 41 out of the 47 counties of Kenya and are drawn from 26 different ministries, departments, and state agencies. Then it was time to commission the 51 fellows into the fellowship. In March 2022, guests from all walks of life gather at KICC for the official inauguration ceremony. This was an auspicious occasion, graced by Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the former president of Liberia, who was the chief guest.
All of you represent the future of your country. Your leadership and the devotion you gave to public service will result in meaningful contribution to Kenya's bright future.
Speaker after speaker spared no chance in enumerating the value and importance of this fellowship.
The inauguration of the first cohort of fellows is therefore the beginning of the realization of the process of developing leaders in the public service.
But like Professor Wangari Maathai, she found her little thing, which was planting trees. What is your little thing? Please find it and fan those flames in your heart and keep going. Make a difference.
You have already chosen to serve. You are daring to lead and to transform this country, this continent, this world. My hope is that you start a wave of talent that is as committed to the service of your nation as you are and the world we all live in.
Empowered and accountable leaders are critical to a professional and effective public service, which inspires a sense of purpose and drives high performance.
Through this program, we're sure of injecting new ways of thinking and approach in government institutions that will ensure for all of us greater efficiency, greater transparency, and effect very useful and value-based public service.
Emerging public service leaders, therefore, must be champions of efficiency and value for money by developing and implementing innovative, cost-effective service delivery solutions.
The Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship is implemented through a public sector-centered curriculum whose focus is three-pronged: citizen-centric service delivery, public service leadership and ethos, public sector systems and methods. These thematic areas are delivered by seasoned private sector practitioners and illustrious career public servants, both in service and retired.
We have laid a very good foundation on the curriculum. I think we have designed some useful programs. Of course, we'll be happy to work with the team here to tweak further if there's need to. And I hope this program to be successful, not just now, but for the future.
The workshop program or the segments, they were structured very well. We had the formal part where we could sit in a class, have lessons, have practical exercises. And in other aspect, we had informal interactions like bonfires where we could meet, share our personal experiences from fellow to fellow and from other people we consider as mentors. And these are now the platforms that help us know each fellow at a personal level.
So this Emerging Leaders Fellowship Program is critical in that, one, it takes the best of our future public servants. It takes a hold of them at a very early stage in their career and allows them to be mentored by people who've gone through public service themselves and are able to share their experiences, the good and the bad and the ugly.
The greatest power of this program is the peerage, the cohort. And the cohort will rise to become leaders in the different ministries and agencies. And I think that collectivity and interconnections is what is going to be of real value to this country, but also to the individual peers.
And the fellows are the real heroes of this Be Self story. Many of them have already begun effecting change at their different workstations.
Over the last 1 year, I've been extremely impressed. I've been extremely impressed because we saw young people who were not even confident about themselves coming in. We saw young people who at times could not even address a crowd. But we also saw young people who did not know what the public service career holds for themselves. As they graduate, and I've interacted with them from the inception up to now, we have had private conversations, we have had a lot of interesting things, we have seen them taking initiatives. I'm very glad one of them is doing a master's, and a number of them are also seeking for opportunities to develop themselves. That is what I saw. We have seen people who have come to know that their development of their career is in their hands, and they should not let anybody else take charge of that.
In Nakuru County, Jacob D. Kiage dreamt of a tech-led adult education at his Nakuru West Sub-County Adult Education Center. Inspired by the stories of change driven by ordinary men like him, he applied for a grant from the Safaricom Ndoto Zetu program. And as sure as his faith was, he received 500,000 shillings, grant worth of computer and related accessories.
The ministry sent the instructors. And once they have sent the instructors, it's now you to look for how to handle those youths, how to look for the resources. So this is something that I took. I look at the challenges and how to overcome these challenges. It brought the idea, what we were taught about integrated service. You can give service, but you don't have just to restrict yourself to your ministry. Collaborate, and you will get the best results.
In Kisumu County, Henry Nyamogosa, who teaches at the Kisumu National Polytechnic, amazed all and sundry. Henry took over a neglected course that no teacher wanted.
Henry has picked up one of the courses that was low-lying, the course in tourism management. Originally, this course had been placed in the business department, but I think when Henry put up the focus, that course was changed from business department to hospitality and institutional management. And that is one of the courses that we get 100% pass. The students are so proud of it. He's very outgoing. He will arrange for them academic trips, and I think he's impacting very well on the students.
Before I joined the fellowship,
there was many gaps in me, myself, in even how do I handle my target audience, in this case the students. Then another thing on how do I improve my service delivery through following the right procedures and everything. So since I attended the fellowship, I can see tremendous change in that, because one, now I know I keep involving my students who are my citizens now in doing everything I do.
In Lamu County, we meet Hadija Mohammed, a probation officer who is now going above and beyond her job description.
One thing I can say about the PSELF, it gives one a change of mindsets in how to go about your career and everything. You need to think outside the box. It doesn't, your role doesn't end with what you do, but what you can do. So for instance, for me, not only do I work in the probations, but I also aid the education department by providing my counseling skills, because besides being a probation officer, I'm a professional counseling psychologist, and I render my services to the community and also the other departments by trying to empower young girls, young boys in our community to see the importance of education, importance of literacy from our community. So what I can tell about my colleagues out there, seek any opportunities that is going to better your skills.
As we look beyond the vista into the future, where do we all see this fellowship?
To the inaugural cohort, whoever much is given, much is expected. We have a greater task ahead of us and a duty to demonstrate value and give our partners a reason to keep investing on this noble cause.
I would tell a fellow in the PSELF program, remember your mission. Stand your ground when it comes to your values. It counts, it matters. Be seen, be heard. Pursue your mission, pursue your purpose.
My vision for the Public Service Emerging Leaders Foundation program is that as we go along, we build a critical mass that can be a tipping point of young public servants who've gone through this program. When they go back to their ministries, their organizations, their public institutions, they're able to practice what they have learned through this program and be able to take leadership roles within those public service institutions and make them better.
To me, the greatest thing is to have the program growing from the 51. As you know, we are now moving to 65. I'm seeing it going to 100. And, you know, when you have all these many nurtured as leaders, the public service is much richer and healthier and more determined to give the service the citizens of this country need.
So they should consider themselves the apostles of sacrifice and service in the public service. And as apostles, move out with the gospel of service and spread the gospel of service across the public service, not just in Kenya, but across the African continent.
As the Commission begins the recruitment of the next cohort of fellows, I reiterate my personal support to this initiative, and let us build more leaders. Let us have a public service full of leaders, and we shall see an incredible difference as a nation.
Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship, nurturing value-driven leaders.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for giving us that opportunity, and thank you for your concentration. In order for us to zero in all that we've seen in our screens, Your Excellency, allow me to invite the last testimony from Njoki Maina, who will just take 3 minutes just to give us her testimony. Njoki Maina. Let's appreciate her as he takes the podium.
Morning, everyone. So, Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary and all protocol observed, thank you very much for honoring us with your presence. My name is Njoki Maina, and I'm an immigration officer from the Directorate of Immigration Services. So, so much has been said about this program. And finally, my colleagues and I are getting the opportunity to usher in the second cohort into the stockade. So, like it has been said, allow me to give our story, to give a testimony of exactly how this program has impacted us. I am Njoki. I am an immigration officer. I have managed to secure a grant with an American university. I am very passionate about refugees and their service delivery towards them. I have also managed to come up with a proposal so that the passport process application can be seamless. I hope someday that my mom, back in the village, like Dr. Muyandi told us one time, she's investing in us so that one day when she's back in Meru farming bananas, she knows that the country will be in good hands. I am doing the same in my small capacity back at the Directorate. I see my supervisor is there, he's smiling. That is because he knows it's the truth. I would like to mention one of my fellows called Antonia. Antonia told me of a story of how she realized she sat in the office and clients did not come to her. She's from Samburu County. She's an adult educator. So she decided that she would like to go to the clients instead. And she liaised with the local chief, and she would take boda boda rides until the adult clients were finally convinced and they began streaming in. Antonia is a PESAL fellow. She is trading in hope. She is also part of the service delivery team, Your Excellency, that will change this country. I would love to mention Paula Ruby, who is an excellent children's officer. Paula once told me how she sat with a client for 3 hours and listened to the client. That's very empathetic, don't you think? To sit with someone for a whole 3 hours, that is way beyond your scope. So Paula is also writing a book, and she hopes to one day do a documentary. This documentary will highlight her journey as a children's officer. But further still, it will also give us insight into the public service sector from her perspective. Paula is changing the future of Kenya, one child and one family at a time. I'd love to mention Henry Ng'ethe, who is a nutritionist. He has also been able to secure a lot of funding in the scope of nutrition. There are so many stories, but before I conclude, I'd love to mention of Henry Nyamogosa, whom we've also just seen. On top of all what he has achieved, transforming an entire sector in his area of work, he has also partnered with Volunteer Service Overseas, that is an international organization, and they are changing how the youth perceive employment in Kisumu County. Henry Nyamogosa is a PESAL fellow, and he is changing livelihoods a day as it comes. I only ran out of time, but every one of the fellows you see graduating today has an exceptional story. But perhaps for me and for my fellow fellows, the most pronounced change for us has been the paradigm shift in our thinking. Before I joined government, I'd love to let you know that I was a fierce critic. I critiqued almost everything that the government did. It's very easy for you to do that when you are outside. But once you join, you realize that that is not just the story. Sometimes the government does its best, and it requires people to know that. After joining PESAL, I became cognizant of my role. I now understood that we are surely not where we were, but we're surely not where we want to be, but we're not where we were. And I became a contributor as opposed to a critic. Now I know that I am a cog in the wheel of public service. As I conclude, to everyone in this room, but especially to my fellows and to the incoming cohort, If you remember nothing else from what I have said, remember this. As a civil servant and as an individual, guard your reputation jealously, because it will precede you and it will fight for you in your absence. It will speak volumes in your silence. My name is Njoki Maina. I am a researcher. I am an immigration officer. I am a PEACEL fellow. But most importantly, I am a cog in the larger wheel of public service serving this great nation of Kenya. To all guests and protocol present, asanteni sana kwa kuja. To the Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, like my colleague has said, we beseech just an hour of your time, sometime soon. We know that you're a valiant public servant, you have served for very long, and we will invaluably benefit from your experience. Asanteni sana. Kenya ni kipenzi chetu, hatutakiacha milele. Thank you.
I'm double sure we could have not crowned it any better than that. Thank you so much. That's the testimonies from our fellows. Let's appreciate them once again as our sister Njoki takes her seat. Your Excellency, allow me now to invite our very strong sister, Karen Wakoli, to come and make her address. Let's appreciate our sister as she takes the stage. Karibu sana. Karibu sana.
Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, the Vice Chair of the Commission, the Public Service Commission, Madam Charity, the Public Service Commissioners, all invited guests, good morning. Now, I have a confession to make. And I hope you will not judge me after I share this confession. When I was a little girl growing up in the village in the county of Bungoma, I constantly came across images of what to me I thought was leadership. Let me talk about power. The image of power expressed through riches or supposed riches and freedom for one or for people to do whatever they want to do or be whatever they want to become. The other was glamour. The glamour, the charisma, the clout that came with power and what it meant to be in a position of power. Now, I'd like for you to just take a moment and picture that. Power, glamour, security, red carpet, cameras, and all these things. That's a beautiful picture. And I thought that that was leadership. And having come from a background where my family and I struggled to access basic needs within our home, I definitely grew up with that picture and I said, you know what, one day I want to be a leader. You can see the motivation. And I thought to myself that, yeah, so once I become a leader, get into leadership, then I will have access to power, and I'll have access to the money that comes with apparently being in power, or the power that then gives you access to money. And that was the image I was pursuing. Little did I know that this was the greatest fallacy of all time. Money does not equal leadership, and it's not true power, even though in many of our minds, it is. And power is not the things we see and sort of can touch. True power is the ability to influence and transform people's lives for the better. True power does not boast or shout. It's that silent strength that's within that becomes a force for good. It's sad that many people, many human beings have, through this allure of power, wealth, money, and all that, have actually found themselves in roles of leadership or positions of leadership. And then you get there and you realize there's an emptiness. That all this money and supposed power and security, it's really nothing. There's an emptiness that is unquenchable. And some of us begin to amass wealth, amass land and money, and yet, when we die, how much of that do we need? Maybe just 6 by 7, and, we go down. Greed steps in, and, within no time, we really lose the purpose, and we don't care about the people that we lead, the people that look up to us. And sometimes we look at this as the destination, that taking up a leadership role or being in leadership is actually the final destination, but it's not. I have actually come to the realization that the worst kind of poverty is not that situation where people are not able to put food on the table or to meet their needs. The worst kind of poverty is that where the only thing we have is money. Nothing more, nothing less. Just money. No character, no integrity, no honor, no vision. Just money. Just money. Just imagine that. And don't get me wrong, money is not bad. Money is a good thing. It complements who we are and what we do. But surely our lives must matter more than just money. It's so much more than that. It's so much more than that. But we should not let money and power and all these things be what define us. But like many of the fellows have talked about, it's how we serve. It's how we love. And again, just, after all that moment of the last breath, whether we get buried or cremated, do we ever carry all the money and the land and all these things? No, we don't. In that moment when we're breathing our last, none of that counts. It is how many lives did we touch? How many young people did we mentor? How many young women and men and children and even older people did we encourage or inspire, or did we look into their face and see them for who they are? It's those small things that sometimes we actually ignore and chase after this thing called money, power, and these things. Again, I'd like for you to just take a moment and picture that. One of the things I've come to learn, and again, this came up in the documentary that played earlier on, is that dreams come true. Dreams come to pass. There's power in dreams. And guess what? That childhood dream I had of being in leadership came to pass. I was in leadership. But friends, this was a disaster. It was tragic. The one thing I desired so much, I finally got it. And I spent many years of my life running away from it. Anything responsibility, anything leadership, I took off. But the faster I ran and the more I ran, the more leadership and responsibility ran after me. But I kept running, it kept running. The more I ran, the more leadership responsibilities were thrust upon me. The more I was put on the stage and all that. I can tell you it was draining. It was hectic. You can imagine emotionally, you're running away from something, but it's running after you and of course catching up with you, even outrunning you. Till the day I made peace with the fact that, yes, I'm choosing to embrace the responsibility and the sacrifices that come with leadership. And I have seen and learned that, you know, leadership is not politics, even though it can get practiced in the political space. I have also come to the conclusion that the most difficult assignments we can ever have in life is to lead. I don't know what you find to be the most difficult thing you get to do maybe every day. For me, I have seen and I have talked to many leaders, young and old, men and women. Leading and leadership is a daunting task. It's a daunting task. It's about sacrifice. It's about service. It's about love. And I see leadership in some of the most interesting places, and I know we see that. For instance, that Mama Mboga selling groceries to be able to meet the needs of her family or his family in the right way. That is leadership. Or a teacher who faithfully chooses to teach the children that come into their space. They teach them honesty and responsible citizenship. That is leadership right there. Or a doctor who chooses to practice his or her trade in the right way. That is leadership. A student who chooses not to cheat in the exam. That is leadership. That is leadership. Leadership is not in the glamour and the power, and it's not necessarily there. It's in the small things, in our common rooms and spaces that we find ourselves in. True leadership is about inspiring limitless possibilities in humanity and enabling people to see themselves as agents of the change they want to see. And that's not easy, but it's worth it. Chinua Achebe, who was a Nigerian novelist and poet, in one of his essays on Africa and leadership, rightly observed that leadership is sacred trust, like priesthood in civilized and human religions. And he says that no one gets into it lightly or unadvisedly because it demands qualities of the mind, discipline of the body, and a will beyond the need of the ordinary citizen. He goes on to say that anybody who offers himself or herself or is offered to society for leadership must be aware of the unusually high demands that comes with leadership. And if in any doubt whatsoever, they should firmly refuse the prompting. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said that the mind once stretched by a new idea can never go back to its original form. Cohort 1, fellows, I am so proud of you as you graduate today from this fellowship program. And I'm very certain, I'm very sure that your mind has been stretched. I've interacted with all of you and I can see the transformation, and I can only say I'm so proud of you. And as the partners in this program, we will continue to work with you and walk with you even beyond your graduation today. And may you continue to, thank you. May you continue to live out the ideals of a good citizen and a good public servant who is citizen-centric. Cohort 2, as you embark on this leadership journey, just like Chinua rightly observed, if you have any doubt whatsoever about this process you're embarking on and about the immeasurable transformation that you're going to experience, please do not continue with the journey. You're free to step out of the program. But I can assure you that this program, this journey you're on, will be worth it. It will be worth every day, every second, every minute, every sweat that you go through to attend the program and interact with the fellow leaders. It will be worth it. I know your mentors are here, your supervisors are here, we've been working together, and I have no doubt that with their guidance and leadership and hand-holding for you, you will go very far. And like Commissioner Muyandi rightly said, in the next 10 years, or maybe even just 5 years, you will be the who is who, leading change, leading policy processes, and ensuring equity and inclusivity in policy and decision-making processes, and ensuring we have many more young people and their voices being heard, and they can be seen, and you're amplifying those voices, and children, and women, and men as well. I look forward to that time. And now, my friends, I'd like to leave you with the paraphrase words of one of my favorite poets, Sir Francis Drake. The poem is called Disturb Us, Lord. Disturb us, Lord, when we are too well pleased with ourselves, when our dreams have come true because we have dreamed too little, when we arrived safely because we sailed too close to the shore. Disturb us, Lord, when with the abundance of the things we possess, we have lost our thirst for the things of life. Having fallen in love with money and power, we have ceased to dream of a more equal and dignified society where all women, men, young people, and children can feel free and secure enough to pursue their dreams and make the best of themselves and their communities and their families. Disturb us, Lord, to dare more boldly to venture on wider seas where storms show your mastery, where losing sight of the land, we shall find the stars. We ask you, Lord, to push back the horizons of our hopes and to push into the future in strength, courage, hope, and love. Disturb us, Lord, is the title of the poem. And that is the prayer I make for each and every one of us, those who are in leadership, those who want to shift their mindset to realize that leadership is not about the glamour and the power and the money, that it's about service, it's about heart, not just mind. That's my special dedication to you. And I have a special dedication to a special category of people. We all know young people are the majority in our population, and you young people are our present, you are our future. And I get so inspired when I encounter young people, whether in person or through social media, sharing with me some of the things they are doing in their communities to change their stories, to change the narrative about young people and to change our country. They're choosing not to sit back. And we've also seen the many stories from our fellows so far. Ladies and gentlemen, please just help me appreciate young Kenyans. But unfortunately, of course, we have a few young people who are sitting back and waiting for things to happen, waiting for government to do this, waiting for civil society to do this, or for media to do this, or for mom and dad to do something for me. You know what? If you're waiting, please stop waiting. Stop waiting. Rise up and realize that you're your own rescue. Be your own rescue. Be your own champion. Be the change you want to see. Be the person you've been waiting for, because you are that. And I hope the rest of us can actually begin or continue to meaningfully engage young women and men that we get to encounter in our lives. And so I leave you young leaders with the words of Frantz Fanon, who said that every generation must, out of total obscurity, discover its mission and either fulfill it or betray it. And so I ask you one question as I exit the stage. Will you fulfill or will you betray the mission and the call on your generation? Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Let's appreciate our founder and the executive director, ELF, Ms. Karen Wakoli. Anytime I meet Wakoli, it reminds me one time we had an opportunity to represent the Kenyan young people. Those days when we were young, the Kenya We Want conference, Wakoli and I represented the young people. And by then we were saying the Kenya we want for the young people. So when I meet her, I always ask her, whatever we were asking for, do we do it now? Little did we know that Karen will be where she is and Getona will be where he is today. Am I doing my role? Am I playing my role well? I also saw Madam Susan. Those days used to work for the youth agenda, harmonizing young people issues and bringing them on board to make sure that we actualize our dream. Thank you so much. One day I met one young man, very young. By then he was the head of public service, Ambassador Francis Mudhaura. And it was in a function that, I think it was my first function to MC a formal function in Nairobi. It was the day of the World Peace Day. And the theme was the role of the young people in peace building. And Ambassador told me, young man, you have a future. Did I just stop there? I went for it. So my message is simple, go for it. It is there waiting for you, just go for it. Your Excellency, allow me now to invite our chairman, Mr. Emmanuel Lubembe, to come and make his remark. Welcome, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Mic off the mic. Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, the Vice Chair of the Public Service Commission, Madam Catherine Kisotu, the founder of ELF, Karen Wakoli, with your inspiring quotations, the commissioners of the Public Service Commission, the board of ELF, and the steering committee members who are here, my colleagues. Good morning. Normally at a time like this, we begin with the usual thing, but we agree it's an honor and privilege for us to be part of this special occasion when the first cohort of the Public Service Emerging Leaders Foundation Fellowship and Program are graduating, and we're inaugurating the second group. I'm not, where are the groups? This is group, first cohort? Second. And the first one is this side. Welcome, and we look forward to an exciting day. I sit on the PSELF steering committee, and we are especially proud to be associated with this program. It's great, it's exciting. I was a civil servant for a long time. My head of public service is present, and I'm very happy that he keeps being referred to This is Ambassador Francis Mudaura. I served under him. He was also my mentor. He may not remember me, but I served under him diligently. And I'm happy to see him here, seeing how other people are standing on his shoulders and running the public service of today. And there are others who are coming through to do so. I see the PSELF program as an exciting program in the capacity building space of the public service. It's exciting. Many graduation ceremonies that I used to attend when I was a public servant were not this exciting, with all this glamour and people being happy and choirs. I think it's exciting. And the fellows themselves being able to come forward and talk to you about their experience, their one-year experience as emerging public leader fellows. When I look at the curriculum of the PSELF, it is very interesting. It focuses on policy formulation, policy implementation. It focuses on leadership. It focuses on service delivery. But at the same time, it focuses on values. And there's a values deficit in the public service of Kenya now. And it behoves us to really put values alongside many of the training programs that we have. Because values are like guardrails. They direct you towards the right direction as you deliver public services to the people of Kenya. So I find that that is a very critical component of this curriculum. And we thank the Public Service Commission, especially Madam Mary Muyandi, who's very passionate about this program. She runs with it, literally running. I think you saw her walking up the stairs. She was coming up quickly to deliver what her thoughts are. And the person she works closely with, Dr. Sylvester Obongo, on this program, I really believe they have fully embraced it. You would also have to look at the ELF and the officer who has been coordinating this, Madam Stella Nderitu. I think she's in here somewhere, of ELF. These are people who are committed to making sure that this program is successful. I just have a few words of advice to the graduating group, and that is, as you go out there, back to your ministries, with the testimonies that we have seen, you have new ideas, you have new skills, and as we've seen, new attitudes. Of course, you will get to your ministry and find a few hurdles. Normally, you will find some people who tell you, you know, tumeona wengi kama wewe, na wametuacha hapa. You should not be discouraged. I think you should face those challenges, and I am sure you will be successful. We need these new ideas, and we're hoping you adopt the new technology that you have talked very much about. Some of the testimonies here are very clear on that, what new technologies will come through. And then creating a community of practice where you can share experiences, solutions, and new ways of solving problems. To the second cohort, I think it is very important that you be as excited as you can see the people who have graduated. Very excited about the journey, and we urge you to adopt it and see how far it can get us. I remember when we used to have the Public Service Week in the public service. I'm sure it is still there. There was somebody who indicated to us that you cannot use the tools and instruments of the 20th century to solve the problems of the 21st century. And I'm quoting Ambassador Mudhaura, that is about 2005 during the Public Service Week of that time. And so these new skills that they're being imparted to you, we are hoping that you use them, but I encourage a lot of technology that needs to be adopted to take us as far as we need to go. Finally, let me thank, first of all, the Public Service Commission for this commitment to this program, the ELF, Madam Karen Wakoli, who has been coordinating through her office and her team in the delivery of this program, and also the EPL, Emerging Public Leaders Foundation out of Washington, which was founded by Her Excellency President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and together with a co-founder, Betsy Williams. They're not able to be here today, but they were well represented by Shami, who is here. And I think if we continue this way, we will reach a tipping point of public servants with different attitudes to change the public service, focus on outcomes, focus on timeliness, focus on competence, and also focus on courtesy to the people of Kenya. And in saying that, I also want to say thank you very much to our chief guest, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, our Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Vice Chair of the Public Service Commission, all the people who are in attendance in this very, very special occasion for the cohorts who are graduating and those who are being inaugurated today. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much. That is our pre-self steering committee chairman, Mr. Emmanuel Lubembe. Thank you for your candid words. Your Excellency, it's now my singular honor and duty to invite our vice chairperson, Madam Charity Kisotu, to come and deliver her remarks, and also in turn invite the chief guest to deliver his address. Let's appreciate our vice chair as she takes the audience. Karibu, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you very much, our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Musalia Mudavadi. I think you've heard the testimonies. I really want us to really appreciate those testimonies from emerging leaders and those who have already emerged, like Karen Wakoli. We say that she's no longer emerging, she's now a leader. Yesterday, I was actually sharing with Commissioner Muyandi when the first cohort was handing over the mantle to the second cohort in terms of leadership. I was telling Mary that the way things, if we continue with this trend, I think our time is quickly lapsing in terms of leadership, because very soon we are forced, or we may have to hand over to a younger generation of leaders. So I think we need to be ready. Now, Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, please allow me to first, before I give my brief remarks, to introduce my colleagues, the commissioners of the Public Service Commission, and I request that they be upstanding so that we introduce them to. Yeah. So on my far right, we have Commissioner Andrew Muriuki. Then next to him, we have Commissioner Ambassador Wamoto. Then we have Commissioner Ambassador Salma Ahmed. Then we have Commissioner Dr. Ruben Chirchir. Then we have Dr. Joyce Nyabuti. And of course, you all know the prefect of the program, Commissioner Mary Muyandi. Then we have Commissioner Joan Otieno. Thank you so much. Those are the commissioners of the Public Service Commission, and I also want to bring the greetings and apologies from the chairman of the commission, Ambassador Mwaneki Mushiri, who is away attending another forum at Isiolo with the principal secretaries, but he has sent us with his apologies and greetings. I also want to recognize Ambassador Muthaura, who is present here with us today. Please, let's clap for him again. Our chief guest, Honorable Ambassador Muthaura, has really walked with us the journey. He has this passion of really growing young leaders, and we really do appreciate him. I was very surprised when he came here very early, just to come and celebrate with us on this graduation day. We also recognize the presence of Honorable Aku Kaunya. They were the first people, actually, the first parliament, the last administration, to give us a seed capital of trying to facilitate this program. Thank you so much. Our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, Prime Cabinet Secretary, Commissioners of the Public Service Commission, CEO and Secretary of the Public Service Commission, and our staff, the graduating class of Pioneer Fellows and the incoming Cohort 2 Fellows, Emerging Public Leaders, Emerging Leaders Foundation, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As you all know that this event was initially scheduled for 21st April 2023, but was inevitably postponed after the declaration of the public holiday to mark Eid al-Fitr on the same date. I am therefore very delighted that we rescheduled this event to this day, and I was on the onset to express my sincere appreciation to you, our chief guest, because you did not get tired. We invited you last time, and even after the event did not take place, still you have committed to support the commission. Out of your busy schedule, this demonstrates your commitment and dedication towards growing young leaders in the public service. Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary, leadership is not something that just happens. Leadership is nurtured. It requires deliberate efforts. And that is why the Public Service Commission, in partnership with the Emerging Public Service Leaders and Emerging Leaders Foundation, purposely developed this program to nurture the next generation of public sector leaders. As we prepare for succession to pass over leadership to the next generation, we must nurture leaders who will be guided by the national values and principles of governance and values and principles of public service as envisioned in Article 10 and 232 of our Constitution. This program was launched in November 2021, and the first cohort was commissioned in March last year in the presence of Her Excellency Johnson Sirleaf, former President of Liberia, and the Kenya government. And we are happy to note that some of the beneficiaries of a similar program are the likes of Her Excellency Governor for Kirinyaga County, Honorable Anne Waiguru, who benefited also from a similar program referred to as Amujai Initiative, a program that mentors young women into leadership. And you can see the product of the program. Today marks yet another important milestone and culmination of our collective effort as the inaugural cohort comprising 51 fellows, graduate, and 65 newly employed public servants join the program as part of the second cohort. Allow me, therefore, to congratulate the first cohort on their graduation and the second cohort for emerging successful from among many equally competent applicants. Honorable Chief Guest, this program is designed to respond to 21st century challenges. The curriculum for the program is specially designed in collaboration with Chandler Institute of Governance, an international non-profit organization based in Singapore, to incorporate practical learning with good practices and knowledge from Kenya and around the world. Training sessions are delivered by seasoned practitioners from both private and public sectors and focuses on interactive learnings meant to challenge participants to imagine and be part of public service transformative leadership. Even after graduation, fellows of the program will continue to receive career development support, including networking opportunities among alumni from other parts of the world. At Independence, the challenges facing our young nation, including, and to paraphrase just the first president of our Republic of Kenya, the triple enemies of development, and that is education, poverty, and disease, were placed on the shoulders of the pioneer civil servants, who are mostly in their youth. The crop of civil servants served with dedication, and thanks to the effort, Kenya has advanced in many ways. However, Kenya is not out of the woods yet, and the youth today must confront modern-day challenges brought about by globalization and advances in technology, such as the digital divide, climate change, and increased inequality. For this reason, the vision and strategies that served our country so well, for so long, need a recalibration to suit the modern times. And from the several discussions over the past 1 year with the young men and women graduating today, I am nonetheless comforted by their sheer awareness of the global environment we live in and their national duty to confront the challenges we face. During their training, these young emerging leaders have had an opportunity to learn from and interact with experienced, seasoned civil servants, the likes of Dr. Kinyua, the immediate former head of public service, Ambassador Francis Mudhaura, who is here with us, the current Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Lady Justice Martha Koome, among others. I'm therefore confident, Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary, that the first cohort of the public service emerging leaders that is graduating today has been equipped well to go and make a difference in the public service. Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary, the first mark of leadership is that of service to the people. The Emerging Leaders Program aims to inculcate the spirit of service and foster an innovative mindset among the young public officers. And inspired by the training offered under the program, the graduating class already boasts several leadership successes and public service delivery innovations. On this note, and I wish to recognize and applaud Mr. Jacob Kiange for introducing digital learning at his adult education office in Nakuru County, and Mr. Henry Nyamongosa for demonstrating admirable leadership in turning around his department at the Kisumu National Polytechnic. We have watched the clip, and let's applaud them, please. These two cases illustrate the power of leadership and innovation in transforming institutions. Today, graduation, therefore, is not only a celebration of individual achievements, but it is also a celebration of potential opportunity. The potential of the young leaders to transform the public service and the opportunity for our policymakers to harness the skills of these young leaders for the benefit of the Kenyan people. I urge the emerging leaders to utilize the skills learned during the program and apply themselves fully in the service of our country. As you go back to your respective workstations, I challenge you to set a new leadership standard, and in your respective departments, please change the issues or the areas that you did not like when you interacted with the citizens at the service centers. I'm informed that you visited quite a number of the service centers, including Huduma centers. Please go and be champions of change. Similarly, I urge the leadership in the various MDAs where the participants are drawn from to effectively exploit the skills of the young men and women to enable our people benefit from their immense potential. Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as the second cohort of the program gets commissioned today, I wish to encourage them to fully immerse themselves in all aspects of this program. I hope that at the end of your training, you will have established a solid professional network, widen your knowledge, and formed innovative ideas and solutions that can help the government accelerate progress towards our national development plans. And as we continuously review the training curriculum, we will focus more on strengthening effective communication skills among the participants with a view to improving the interface between government and its citizens and promote accountability by public officials. And going forward, we will look forward to expand the program to the wider public service. This program, our chief guest, will be most consequential when the community directly feels its benefits and public officials better understand the citizenry. We will therefore seek to give it greater community orientation by introducing community service in the curriculum. We also endeavor to facilitate the participants with greater understanding and appreciation of the rich diversity of our country in terms of ethnicity, religion, culture, level of development, and climate by organizing regional education tours. Our chief guest, this program received the highest level of endorsement from His Excellency the President during the ceremony to commission the 5th cohort of the Public Service Internship Program and the public launch of the 2020-2021 report on status of compliance with the values and principles of Articles 10 and 232 of the Constitution on 31st March 2023. Its popularity is also on the rise, going by the progressive increase in the number of applications received over the last 2 cycles. And arising from the emerging evidence on the impacts of the program, the Commission and its partners wish to request your office to facilitate policy-level uptake of this program and also to provide funding. Because as we speak, we have 2 key partners, Emerging Public Leaders and the Emerging Leaders Foundation. We are very, very grateful. Public Service Commission just provided a framework and also provided the civil servants. We did not provide even a coin. So we are very thankful to our partners. And we seek your intervention so that we can actually increase the numbers and have this program run across the public service. I am also confident that you will help the Commission get more budgetary support for this program to enable its sustainability and admission of an increased number of fellows in subsequent cohorts. And as I conclude with these few remarks, Honorable Chief Guest, we want to thank you so much for the support so far that you have given the Commission. We are humbled, and thank you so much. I wish to now take this opportunity But sorry, before I invite you, Chief Guest, just allow me to. Yeah, before I invite you, allow me just to invite Ambassador Muthaura, who has worked with us the journey, just say one word. Thank you so much. I know I've ambushed you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Cabinet Secretary and the Deputy Chair of the Public Service Commission, Mheshimiwa, and all the invited guests, members of the Public Service Commission. I'm really very, very happy to be here. To be here, first of all, to witness the graduation of the first cohort, and of course the launching of the new cohort. The future of this country lies in the hands of our young people. This country, and I think the Honorable Chief Cabinet Secretary will agree with me because we have worked for many years with him. We met first in the Ministry of Transport. He was my boss. The Ministry of Transport and the Communications. That was 2001. That's quite a few years ago. And if we look backwards, what has happened to this country, I can say really there has been a huge, huge transformation. Sometimes our politics concentrates on what we are lacking, but not what we have achieved. But really, even looking at Nairobi alone, there has been a huge, huge transformation. And that is because we have had very enlightened leadership in this country. I really wish to congratulate the government, the past government, and also the current government. And the way we are moving, definitely, with this type of embracing the youth and investing on the potential of our youth, the future of this country is very, very bright. Just I was reading a few things a few days ago. I see Kenya is being ranked as number 2 as the most innovative country in Africa. That's not a small achievement. Kenya is ranked about number 6 in terms of GDP. That is also not a small achievement. We are the 6th richest country in Africa. That is not a small achievement. I've also seen our ranking as in terms of infrastructure, especially the road network. We are ranked number 7 in Africa. That is also not small achievement. And you know that ranking of infrastructure. Even the small islands, some of them rank very high, and they have very few kilometers. But Kenya is a very large country. In fact, we are number 1 in terms of the big countries, in terms of infrastructural development. So this, Honorable Minister, for you to be here is giving us also a lot of hope, because this is a demonstration of very strong commitment that you have on the future of this country. So I congratulate all those who are graduating, and also congratulate very much those who are coming in, so that we're able to push our country to the next level. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Muthaura. We really appreciate your support. Please, before we invite the chief guest, allow me also to recognize the presence of Honorable Justice Musinga, the President of the Court of Appeal. I'm told is in our midst. Just want to recognize him. Okay, thank you so much. Now, our chief guest, I don't know how we can, I think we are so excited as a commission, so please allow me to humbly request you to come on stage and give your remarks. And in the meantime, please, let's just be upstanding and give him a very, very warm clap.
Thank you. Be seated, please. Okay. Madam Deputy Chairperson, Commissioners, Secretary to the Public Service Commission, the graduating class of Pioneer Fellows and the incoming Cohort 2 Fellows, emerging public leaders, USA, Emerging Leaders Foundation, Africa, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Madam Joki, you asked for 1 hour. I will not give you 1 hour. I'm ready to give you 2 hours. So we can follow up so that you and your team, we can have that conversation later, and we can have sufficient time to really engage. Let me make my remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to join you this morning to preside over this twin event of the graduation of the pioneer class of the Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship Program and the commissioning of the second cohort into the program. The importance of this program to government and the public service in particular cannot be gainsaid. I am delighted, indeed, to be among such a distinguished group of young leaders who hold the promise of our future. It reminds me of my early years as a 28-year-old eager MP, as Wabomba did point out, and later a cabinet minister some 34 years ago. On 31st of March 2023, His Excellency the President presided over the inauguration of the 5th cohort of the Public Service Internship Program, and today is yet another milestone in the future of the public service. Without reservation, government appreciates the Commission for conceptualizing and implementing this important program for public service development. I also express the government's gratitude to the Emerging Public Leadership USA and the Emerging Leaders Foundation Africa for the financial support to the program and sharing experiences of similar programs in other parts of the world. This support is a demonstration of the open government collaboration approach the government is promoting. I therefore encourage the private sector and NGOs to come on board and partner with the government to scale up such programs and other policy-related initiatives. The Public Service Internship Program and the Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship Program are two intertwined initiatives targeting the youth and their role in public service management. They are a clear indication that the Commission has the pulse on emerging trends in public service and the importance of the youth. From your eager faces, I am seeing a bright public service of tomorrow. It is my wish that in not far into the distant future, you will be gracing this podium and be in many critical positions in the service of our country, Kenya. I associate closely with the two initiatives because I am a firm believer in a professional public service. I believe that through nurture and hard work, public servants like you should be able to rise to the highest ranks. Promotion in the public service should therefore be based on measured deliverable performance, which is the product of hard work. As you are aware, the objective of the Emerging Leaders Fellowship Program is to build the next generation of public sector leaders capable of providing transformative solutions to pressing policy issues. By targeting entry-level staff, government is keen to ensure that at the very nascent stage in your career development journey, you benefit from critical knowledge on values and principles of public service systems and methods, and public service leadership skills. In addition, I am also aware that the program instills a co-creative mindset approach and practice in policy implementation and citizen-centric service delivery. These are critical attributes currently scarce in the public service, but are highly desirable going into the future. The focus on citizen-centricity in service delivery aligns with the government's bottom-up approach. We are alive to the fact that successful governments must put the ordinary citizen at the center of its service delivery agenda. As public servants, the challenges affecting the citizens are our responsibility. Citizen problems are what you are expected to embody and find solutions to as you grow in the public service leadership ranks. This program is central to our objectives as a government. We believe that developing young leaders is important for our success. It is deliberate to prepare you and place you on a conscious journey that entails a mind shift, learning capability, honesty to self, interactivity, understanding of the conceptual relation between cause and effect, and the skills to conceive emerging problems from a bird's eye view perspective. Whereas you are seated here today as a group, allow me to speak to you individually. The power of the individual can make a difference and force change. Mohamed Bouazizi, a 27-year-old Tunisian who was just a street vendor, set himself on fire in protest against personal frustration by the system. I'm not telling you to set yourself on fire, though. Nobody expected that his death, one single death, one lonely young man's suicide, could ignite the Arab Spring. Mohammed made a difference in death. You, each and every one of you sitting here, can make a difference the Kenyans want. As I said, you do not have to set yourselves ablaze like Mohammed, but you can be the power of change that revolutionizes the public service. We see your compatriots, young as you are, do great things again and again in many fields, in so many ways: sports, art, music. We see them create waves through exceptional technological innovations, through inspiring social mobilization. You have been chosen for public service. Do your duty to your country. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to delve a little deeper into the subject of citizen centricity and good governance. These two virtues are the ingredients of good public leadership. Good governance aims at providing an environment in which all citizens, irrespective of class or gender or creed, develop to their full potential. Good governance in public service is the ability and commitment to provide public services effectively, efficiently, and equitably to the citizens. The four pillars on which the edifice of good governance rests, in essence, are: 1, ethos of service to the citizen; ethics, honesty, integrity, and transparency; equity, treating all citizens alike with empathy for the weaker sections; and finally, efficiency, speedy and effective delivery of service without harassment and increasing the use of technology. Citizens are therefore at the core of good governance. Remember that good governance and citizen-centric public service will inseparably be linked throughout your training period and working years' time. As I conclude, I congratulate both the graduating class and the incoming fellows for your achievement. You are enlisted through a competitive process that attracted thousands of your peers. Consider yourselves the lucky few that made it to the finishing tape. That alone should humble you into committing to work for the people of Kenya. You may be just 51 graduating today and 65 joining the program, but the influence you are expected to exercise as change agents should be monumental. If you live by what has been and will be inculcated in you, I therefore urge you to seize the moment and the opportunity you have been given to make your contribution in our collective efforts to transform this country. It is an opportunity many would have wished to have but could not. Do not let us down. Let not this investment go to waste. I look forward to knowing you are a part of something big for the public service and the country. I cannot wait to see what it will be. But you are the leaders. You are the owners of your own vision and power. I am a Quaker by faith, so I'll ask you one question, and I'll only want an affirmation. I'm not inducting you into Quakerism, but kindly answer this question. Can Kenya count on your leadership and strong commitment to work in the public service and make this country a better place for all? I didn't hear you. Yes. All right. Thank you for that affirmation, and may God guide you all. Now, Madam Deputy Chairperson, and all the commissioners, and more specifically, the lady whose foot has been on the pedal very firmly on this journey. Let me just make a few short remarks. First, I want to really acknowledge my good friend and elder, Ambassador Francis Muthaura. What he said when he stood here is factual. We started a journey together, a very good journey. He took a lot of beating along the way, but he stood firm and remained true to his cause as a dedicated public servant. And when his memoirs come out, I don't know when they will be coming out, but I'm sure there will be a must read for everybody who wants to understand something about public service and what goes on behind the scenes. From where we sit, because I learned a lot from Muthaura, let me tell you that, and even Kinyua, because I had an opportunity to work with both of them. Kinyua, when I was in Treasury, we worked a lot on matters of Kenya's economy together. And I want to tell you that sometimes politicians can pretend to be the ones in control. Did you hear what I said? Sometimes we, me included, and my friend Oku Kaunya, the Member of Parliament for Teso North, we can sometimes pretend to be the ones in control. The civil service is a juggernaut. And if you learn to work with the civil service well, then you can work and really transform the country. If you do not respect and work with the civil service, then your political tenure can also be extremely difficult. So there's need to always embrace and work very closely with the public service. Politicians are there, they have their time, but the civil service is an entity in perpetual succession. It's an institution that is there in perpetual succession. If we get to appreciate that, then we can learn to make our country better. When all systems have collapsed, it's usually the civil service that will restore order, the public service that will restore order, and that will give direction on where a nation has got to go. Right now, we are talking, a major debate is going on about the finance bill and what needs to be done in the country. I want to ask you people, and Kenyans who are listening to me, do you really think that the government of Kenya Kwanza has just gotten those ideas and how to get out of this economic from nowhere. No. Public service is involved. Who is writing the budget? Who is crunching the numbers and advising Ndungu on where you to tax and where not to tax? You are involved. The public service is involved. Policies are not coming out of the blue. You have seen the numbers, you have seen the state of the economy, you know where we are hurting, you know what it takes, and it is through you that the Minister for Finance is able then to formulate those ideas. He does not bring them from the bush. It is a civil servant, a public servant, who is an expert in economics, who is an expert in matters of revenue, who is an expert in planning, who is giving the minister advice on how we can get out of the matope that we are in. So this debate, you are part of it. You are part of it. I cannot formulate a finance bill without the legal experts from the Attorney General's chambers. You cannot formulate a finance bill to see how we will close the financing gap without the advice of the Kenya Revenue Authority, which tells you that there's a financing gap, and unless you look for money, you will not be able to run the government. So we are together. We are conjoined at the hip on this one. So therefore, let us find solutions together as we move forward. The other thing I would want to put maybe on a lighter touch is just to go a little bit into folklore. For the younger ones, maybe you will get it, but for the older ones, you have it. When I saw Lubembe walking up here, he was one of the best rugby players in the country. You could see the way he was struggling to climb the stairs. But he was an extremely good sportsman, this gentleman here, and my senior as well. There's a folklore in Western Kenya which says, sometimes if you look at your mother in her advanced age, as a young person you would say, my father wasted his dowry. Alitupa ng'ombe. I don't know whether there is a similar folklore amongst some of you, but in Kiluya I can say it, but if I say it, nobody will understand. But there's a folklore that brings out that, and what does it do? It's a message to the younger people that when you see your mother in old age, please remember, one day, many years ago, she was the beauty of the village and the beauty of the sublocation and the beauty of the city. So I would like to encourage you with this folklore that as you bring in the innovation and as you move in, please also remember that there are some things that only come with experience. And please learn from the ones who have preceded you, who are mature in the system, in the public service. Learn from them. Do not assume that ng'ombe zilitupwa. That, I think, is one message I give to the cohorts on this occasion. Finally, if we were to look at it in the context of stars and the galaxy, I don't know whether I would be far from target if I looked at the civil service as the sun, the bright sun, the one that then gets the moon to reflect some light in the evening. The one that gets the politician to have ideas and people say those are good ideas. The one when things are difficult and there's need for intervention on drought recovery programs, the public service is there to initiate the emergency action required. The constant. Could you be the sun? And all of us revolving around you are actually reflecting your light. We do not have our natural light, but we are drawing from the light, the brightness of the civil service, the public service. I think I'm not far from target if I draw that analogy. You have to be that constant North Star, the one that will always make sure that even in moments where we lose direction, we are coming back to the right path. And that is why the training of these young, powerful people is absolutely essential. I also agree with Karen. She quoted Francis Drake. I was a little bit at a loss, Karen, because in my small way, I thought Francis Drake was also a pirate. So Francis Drake was a pirate, but I didn't know he was a poet, or whether it's different. But I could hear from the analogy about the seas and the gold and what have you. It's true, Sir Francis Drake used to, in the name of the Majesty's government in those days, he would then raid ships and take the loot and take it back to the Queen or to the King, depending on the time. And somewhere along the line, it seems Sir Francis Drake then realized that in spite of all that he did, it was not fulfilling. So here we are. She's also right that in public service, as much as we want to have better lives, and we must all have better lives, let us also be guided by that poem that at the end of the day, it's not all about money. It's something bigger. And the civil service is providing it. So congratulations to all of you. Asante sana. I will be your ambassador on this program. I remember telling Daktari here, Madam Mary Commissioner, that I will be your ambassador. Wherever I get a window to lobby on your behalf for this program, I will be there. I will be there because I think it is extremely valuable. So congratulations to you all. And if I've stepped in my speech, it only comes with time. After you have been 34 years in public service or more, you are allowed to overstep, but not always. Thank you so much.
We take our seats. I will request our principal guest to remain on stage. I bring on board Daktari to present the citation and the creed. The rest of us can take our seats, please. So we'll move on now to the citation of the creed. So, Daktari, you can take on the other side. What a privilege.
Thank you so very much, our guest. I now want to, I've been given permission to be here. Now I'm enjoying it. This is what power does. Now, I want to ask the graduating cohort to be up studying, and I want to see you in your best. No quotes. I just want to see you in your best. We promised ourselves that we are going to commit to do certain things. I want us in unison. I hope you have it. Do you have the citation with you? Do they have? You don't want me to read for them? Okay. Oh, so what did you want me to do? Okay. Okay. Many things happen. I'm now advised that this is the cohort 2 who have the papers. And as they start this journey, sir, they want to commit. These ones committed themselves when they started. I was actually wondering why I was confusing myself. They committed to do certain things which they have done. The cohort 1, cohort 2 now, are going to commit themselves what they are going to do in the next 1 year and going forward. And therefore, the advantages of being short. They want to commit to do what they are going to read, and I hope it comes from what Karen said. It has to come from the heart. If it is not there, don't read. But if it is from there, read it and practice it as we go forward. Are we ready? Cohort 2, are we ready? Okay, and since I'm not the one, I want to just listen as we begin. Can we begin? 1, 2, 3. Beautiful, beautiful, and so help you God. Okay, thank you very much. I think you can now be seated.
Thank you so much, our principal guest. And now we should request our vice chairperson to come on stage, and also Madam, our colleague, the CEO, so that we start now the awards for the graduates. Madam Dr. Mary, we proceed now with the awards of the graduates.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike, for giving me the mic. Now this is mine. Okay, we have arranged you nicely. So can we have Abiod Ngeno stepping forward, followed by Antonia Nalengi.
I'll request Dr. once the first person receives the certificate, pause for a minute for a photo with the principal guest. So number two,
Okay.
kindly hold.
Just
Hold.
on. I just wanted them to be up. Okay.
Thank you. Move. Let's proceed.
This way. This way, sir. Say hi to Karen. Okay, Antonia. Beryl, get ready. We can move a little faster. Then we have Charity Wamboi Gashao. That is Charity. Chepkurui Shalon Binia. Christine Gatwiri, approach, but just out there. We have Dinah a certificate will be picked by her supervisor. If we could have him. You're the one? Thank you very much. Dolin Amoit. Emily Awo Osewe will be coming next. Coming next is Matilda Ekai. Gideon Mwangi Kamau. Come next after that. Geoffrey Gaido Courier, step in. George Ginono to follow. Gideon Kitao will follow. Hamdi Mohamud to follow. Henry Nyethe to follow after that. Ibrahim Musa. Isaac Ototo. Jacob Kiage. Jael Tanui. Joan Ngeno. Jotham Gitonga.
The following to come closer to me: Christine Gatweri, Thetias Mutunga, and Wendy Aduma. Kindly, let's consult something down here.
Judy Kipruto. Kevin Kioko.
Let's appreciate our brother Kevin. Asante sana.
Kennedy Kiprotich, get ready. Khadija Mohammed. Kusa Izo to be ready. Leo Mwambia Wamboi. Lina Mwenda to be ready.
Gatweri, Mutunga, and Wendy, kindly need you here.
Lynette Kafaso, our president. Martin Mugendi Munyi to be ready and come up the stage. Munyi. Martin Muganda. Masi Mwakios. Mohammed Swaleh to follow after that. Mogaka Henry. Joki Maina. Toitha Edward. Okay, Lodges. Oliver Ocheng to be ready. Omar Kenga Nzai to be ready. Paula Dungo. Lamathan Wajama. Robert Kiplop. Rosemary Muthoni Kimani. Rosemary Njoki. Theodos Dida Munga. Tobias Aboba. And we have Wendy Awo Aduma.
Thank you so much, Daktari. Before the principal guest leaves the stage, I will request Christine Gatweri, Mutunga, and Wendy Aduma kindly to come forward. On behalf of all the fellows, I would wish to give a token of appreciation. So I'll request Wendy, come this way. Come this way. So, Your Excellency, our first gift is a desk organizer. Being the prime, you are very organized, and that's the reason today we've decided to give you a token of appreciation of a desk organizer. Hand it over kindly to our prime chief guest. Choir, take your position. Choir, take position. Choir. Your Excellency, our second gift is publication on the programs, different publications, so you'll be able to learn a number of activities that are within the PLDP and ELF. That's a publication on the programs. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll request now the rest of us to take our seats and leave the Prime Cabinet as we come to the closure of our program. We've come to the closure of our program, and I invite all of us to be upstanding. Nitaomba tusimame sote sasa ili tuweze kumaliza sherehe yetu kwa wimbo wa taifa, na wakati kwaya yetu wanapojipanga, mgeni rasmi nikubalia tu nifanye tangazo moja. Baada ya mgeni wetu kuondoka kwenda pale Kigwa Restaurant, tunapompeleka kwenye chumba kidogo kwa ajili ya kumalizia, I'll request all of us to proceed to the stairs and get ready for the photo. Second announcement, we've been arranged for some meal. Tutapata chakula cha mchana pamoja, the same restaurant. Once you get inside the restaurant, there is the pavilion upstairs for all of us. Then there's a smaller area for our chief guest and the commissioners here. I want to assure you one thing, food is the same. The only difference is the direction. May we be ready for the national anthem. Nitaomba tutulie hivyo tunapompa mgeni wetu rasmi kuondoka pamoja na commissioners wetu. Asante sana mkuu wa mawaziri kwa kuja siku ya leo kushiriki nasi, tunasema asante. Tuwe tu watulivu wakati mgeni wetu rasmi anapoondoka, na kama nilivyoomba the graduates tuelekee kule kwenye stairs. Wakati mgeni rasmi anapomaliza na commissioners kwenye holding room, tujipange kwa ajili ya picha. Wale wengine vile vile tuelekee kule kwa maamkuli ya mchana. Langu jina Mfawidhi Mike Getone, siongezi la mtume wala la nabii. Hadi wakati mwingine, wa sahlan wa marhaba.
Uongozi maana yake, uongozi ndio uwe uliopewa na watu wako wahudumia mahitaji yao na kushughulikia maslahi yao. Uongozi watoka wapi? Uongozi watoka kwake Baba Mwenyezi Mungu, kwa wateule wake aliyewateua, kuwaongoza watu kwa mapenzi yake. Tangu tupate uhuru katika nchi ya Kenya, tumebarikiwa sana kupata viongozi wa busara sana. Toa shukrani kwa Mwenyezi Mungu. Nasi wananchi Kenya sote tunalo jukumu la kulinda nchi yetu, kiongozi wetu katika kazi yake ya kujenga nchi. Nasi wananchi Kenya sote tunalo jukumu la kulinda nchi yetu, kiongozi wetu ya kujenga nchi. Kenya ni imara, sote tunajivunia. Kenya ni imara, sote tunajivunia. Kenya ni imara, sote tunajivunia. Nchi nzuri sana, lazima tuilinde. Kenya ni imara, sote tunajivunia. Usikubali wachochezi waiharibu Kenya. Kenya ni imara, sote tunajivunia. Wananchi wetu wa Kenya tuheshimu mamlaka, kwa sababu uwezo wote watoka kwa Mungu juu. Kenya ni imara, sote tunajivunia. Ukitaka maendeleo katika nchi yetu, ni lazima tuungane sote tujenge nchi yetu. Kenya ni imara, sote tunajivunia.